Okay, so we will be starting now with Marta Alonso. Thank you, Marta, for being here.
Thank you so much, Laila. Thank you so much, all this amazing group of sisters. And well, especially thank you to the CMSC, Circles of Practice, and also to my friends, Christine and Natalie, for guiding us in these 2 first hours. So I think we should start with a small soft landing. So let's begin silently setting an intention for yourself. To be open and curious about what comes up and receiving what arises with equanimity. You may sit or stand comfortably. Just allowing whichever position you choose to let you feel both alert and relaxed. And once you are settled, close your eyes or soften your gaze and tune into your breath. Noticing your breath without trying to change it. Perhaps listening to sounds. Finding your own body in your mind's eye and offering yourself a smile of welcome. Welcome again to this brave space. Bringing your attention to your heart region. And maybe even putting a hand over your heart if it feels right. Maybe asking yourself, how does it feel to place my hands over this tender area, this place where I experience love, love for self and others. and acknowledging the courage that brings you here today. Acknowledging that compassion that also brings you here today. Compassion for yourself. Compassion for all women in the world. Compassion for all living beings. Such big is our heart. So, hi again to everybody. I would like to give you a little talk about owning, as women, our spirituality. I am a white woman, educated in a monotheistic religion, Christianity, and for that place, I think, write, act, and fight against one of the most oppressive systems for women, the spiritual patriarchy. So historically, from the 4th century AD, with the Christianization of the Roman Empire, masculine monotheism triumphed, which needed to stand. A negative meaning of femininity, in particular of femininity linked to any type of power. And so the female divinities and the role of women in religious rites ceased to be symbols of our moral authority, to become witchcraft, sorcery, paganism, heresy. Well, everybody knows the witch hunt carried out by the church. That is a key episode in the history of women. And with a hegemonic masculine divinity, it has also been possible to ratify violent acts towards women in order to achieve complete submission to the mandates of the Pope, the priest, the pastor, the spiritual teacher, the husband. And however, women are the ones who fill the churches, at least in the Latin countries. And without them, the churches would be empty. But despite everything, in most religions, their positions are little recognized. Decisions are made by male ecclesiastics or male spiritual teachers. And over time, I had become aware that the religious space is just another place where gender inequality is reproduced despite the spiritual values. So today, I identify myself with being eco-feminist, reinterpreting myself in my relationship with the earth, with the cosmos, with the different women roles, in the way that I can rename or reimagine a God who represents the values of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, and who has no gender. I'm seeking a healing spirituality with more radical and fundamental changes in the lives of women, which is related to a distribution of power and equal representation in religious structures and modern spirituality, but also based on a level of deep knowledge of myself. And today I know that spirituality leads us to ask ourselves questions about the meaning and purpose of life, and doesn't have to be limited to any particular type of beliefs or practices, or to any patriarchal structures or institutions. In this sense, I would like to share with you a transcendental, personal episode that has marked the rest of my life. From 2000 till 2007, I was involved in a project in Madrid with a Western spiritual teacher, a man who had a lot of knowledge and spiritual wisdom. The whole experience ended fatal. I felt like coming out of a sect, of a cult, and his organization was really a cult, but disguised as a pharmaceutical company. I learned what a spiritual abuse of power was through a bullying experience. I felt abused, cheated, humiliated, crushed, pressured, and punished by him and all the group that was supporting him. In the end, I broke off the relationship with him in 2007, thank goodness. And with all the project, the professional project, I was involved with him. And it was one of the most painful stages of my life. I even had to undergo surgery in the hospital. This was the first and last time of my life. I returned to Valencia, my city, to start from scratch in my professional life again. And before starting to work, I took a 3-month sabbatical to heal myself because emotionally I was totally destroyed. And I went to a several-day retreat, silent retreat on my own in the mountains to heal my heart and my identity. I felt completely destroyed, and it was there in the retreat, alone in nature, that I discovered self-compassion. I spent several days crying and broken with pain and writing a lot and letting all my suffering just going out, opening myself to it completely. And after a few days of catharsis, an immense love arose deep within me for myself. And I found respect, sweetness, tenderness, and incredible strength, and the possibility of starting over in my life. I found the inner teacher, the inner spiritual authority. This inner teacher opened the force of my heart, and I felt totally blessed, regenerated, and with a feeling that there was something deep inside of me that no one could take or snatch me. And the essence of my being was intact. This understanding revolutionized my life and made me much stronger and more resilient. There are no words to describe this natural process that occurred there. I think it happened because I made room for all my pain with courage, and I allowed everything to happen. And I discovered that my Dark Master, this man, had a lot of wisdom indeed, but he lacked the main wisdom, the wisdom of love and compassion. And then I promised myself never again to have any external teacher who was not a teacher of love and compassion in first place, but mainly trusting in my inner spiritual authority in first term. So this is my proposal today for you all. I think we must think for ourselves with a critical conscience and challenge any trend of religious fundamentalism and denounce all forms of abuse, and particularly power abuse in communities of faith, and demand support and compensation for those affected, and thus change the patriarchal structure of our relationships in a spiritual religions, spiritual institutions, modern spirituality. This is based on the recognition that women have a spiritual and religious authority in all spheres of life. And spirituality is important in our lives. A spirituality diverse in its origin and expression, and connected to our way of experiencing life as women. That's why we want to explore and share spiritual interests and needs, as well as support each other in the development of self-awareness and reflection, and encourage women of traditional religions to use what is useful to them and abandon what is oppressive. And demand from political and educational institutions, churches, and the media a change in the structures that make women visible and integrate them into decision-making processes. So today, we can celebrate being women, stop apologizing and people-pleasing. We are a spiritual woman with our own inner authority, our own inner voice, and that's wonderful. So from there, I would like to suggest you a practice that I just created for you today out of the experience, the personal experience that I shared with you all, that is called connecting with your inner voice, connecting with your inner authority. So now I'm going to invite you to just get into the meditation. And this meditation will give you the space to connect with your inner voice.
Hey babe, happy anniversary. Hi. I got you a present.
Oh, no way.
You're gonna love it.
Is this what I wanted?
I said that this meditation will give you the space to connect with your inner voice so you can deepen your intimacy with her and continue to cultivate a trust in her, and therefore a trust in yourself, a trust in the voice who will always speak your truth with love. And I invite you now to relax into a position that's comfortable for you. Allowing your body to adjust as needed, and focus your attention on your breathing. taking in the message that I just shared with you. Connecting with your inner voice, connecting with your inner authority. Imagining now that every out breath settles you deeper into your position and slows you down. Expanding your breathing and slowing down your body naturally. This is a practice of discovering your inner master, your inner voice, of simply sitting with your true self in the present moment. Sitting here with your true self, so the spaciousness where your inner voice lives can be revealed. There is nothing for you to do. Nothing for you to seek out. It is all here within you in this moment. So just breathe, just be, just listen. Perhaps your mind is trying to solve a problem or trying to make sure this meditation works. longing to feel connected to yourself. That's normal. As you notice any thoughts or emotions arise, just notice them and allow them to pass. Bringing yourself back to your heart. And start offering these sentences to you. May I feel worthy. May I feel enough. May I be my own spiritual authority. These sentences can be the doorway to your inner voice. This present moment, this sacred feminine silence. May I feel worthy. May I feel enough. May I be my own spiritual authority. May I. Be there and listen. Listen for a bit to the wise woman that dives in you. She's always speaking to you. Directing you on where to go, what decisions to make, and how to navigate through your life. She's always speaking to you. Right here, you have an unlimited source of strength, trust, and courage. Open yourself to this possibility. Maybe you can start feeling this power in your body. reminding you of what you need. Inspiring you, guiding you. Even creating the most beautiful dreams of what's possible for you. She's always speaking to you. Sometimes she whispers. Sometimes she screams. But always she's speaking to you. Right there in the center of your heart is your inner voice. She represents your true self. Free from expectations, free from fear. This voice is your own spiritual voice, your own authority, your intuitive wisdom, your guide, empowering you. She is your guiding light. So if there's guidance you are seeking, decisions you are pondering, emotions you are managing, imagine them being released from you every time you ask to your inner voice, anytime you feel lost, you can ask to your inner voice, what do I need? What do I really need? What do I need? What do I really need? And just allow yourself to be here right now. Listening to your inner voice, your inner spiritual authority. You may even also not just listening words, but maybe feeling energy, feeling power and strength, perhaps visualizing an image that represents your inner spiritual authority. Allow yourself to be creative. Allow your brain to find the easiest way to connect with the goddess that lies within you. Tapping into your true self. With no agenda, no expectations, no attachment to the outcomes. Yes, deep, empowering presence. Just deep, empowering presence. This is your home. This is you. Be here and connect to your inner voice. Everything you could possibly want is already here for you, inside of you. All you have to do is be here and listen. She's always here to guide you with never-ending love, strength, and wisdom. Let this love warm and permeate you from your heart center, filling the rest of your body. May all we feel worthy. May all women feel enough. May all women be their spiritual authority. May all we feel worthy. May all women feel enough. May all women be their spiritual authority. True joy begins here. And when you are ready, take a few more deep, mindful, compassionate breaths. Then softly open your eyes and sit for a few moments to acknowledge the unique experience you had during this meditation.